Welcome to This Week in Flag Football, everybody. Another week has passed. It was an absolutely spectacular day, Colin, for football. I was in the Troy Sea, so I'll be able to give you insight of how that division looks and who I think is going to come out the strongest when it comes to the playoffs. But let me give you a proper introduction, as always. This time tomorrow morning, of course, you'll be seeing this after the fact, folks. Colin Martin will be a grandfather for the first time and hopefully many times, right, Colin?
Hopefully so, knock on wood. Tomorrow morning they're going to induce Stacy to bring the baby about. So congratulations to Stacy and Corey. First of many, hopefully. But you know what? In honor of the grandbaby coming, I just decided to grow the beard out and let the gray show a little bit.
Sure, yeah, you got to be like a real grandfather.
Yeah, but I'm going to be cool. I'm not going to be grandpa. I'm going to be pop-pop.
Right.
So, you know, I'll be the coolest papa in the world.
No, I like that. Grandpa sounds too old.
Yeah.
Papa's cool. It's like you're from Cuba.
That's how I do sometimes. But I am going to marry a Hispanic woman, so I know the Spanish language, too.
That's
so
true.
There's a tie-in right there.
The papa, the Spanish, the whole Cuban
the papa. The papi.
Right.
Don't get them confused. They're two different things.
No. Pee-pee. They're all different. And Corey, I'm assuming, is the father?
Yes.
Oh, good. So that's there.
I'm not going to assume that. Right. That's a given. That's a fact.
A given.
That's an absolute fact.
Well, we'll see when the baby comes out.
If not, you may want to run away.
Me?
Yeah. But, again, in all seriousness, congratulations. And I just can't wait for it. Hopefully tomorrow morning everything goes quick and easy. Induce. And then... there you go.
Wow.
Don't know what she's going to have yet. Didn't find out, so it's going to be a secret to everybody.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully it doesn't make that sound. But anyway,
it's
time for us to get back to football. Congratulations once again. And I think you have some A-Division scores and standings to talk about.
Well, let's get right into it. At the top, we start off with Derricom F-Bombs in the upset of the day in the A-Division, a 14-6 victory over Elaney's team. Philly Bar and Grill Blaze 20-0 over GotBeer.com. Valenti's Panthers 12-0 over the Bootleggers Crush. And in the game of the day from last week, Kohler's Tavern 14-7 over Ralph's Tavern. That was one of those close to the vest. We kind of expected that for both of those teams, the familiarity that they have with each other. A close, low-scoring game. Congratulations to Kohler's on the 14-7 victory. The game that jumps out at me is you see 14-6 with the F-Bombs over Laney's. You would think, okay, F-Bombs pulled it off, shocked the world, so to speak.
Right.
Come to find out that the Laney's team, they're a little shorthanded. They won't make this as an excuse, but sometimes, and I like this phrase, and I'm going to steal it from Colin Cowherd, there's a difference between an excuse and a reason. I like that. That's pretty deep right there. So Laney's has a reason they lost this game, and nobody's going to use it as an excuse, and we're just going to say Derricom's, you played who you had, and you played against who they had. Laney's, you took the field. They still have to go out and play and perform, but F-Bombs got it done. Congratulations on a big win.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, you're shorthanded, as Colin said. It's 7 versus 9. You would think it would be an absolute blowout, but F-Bombs get the win. It actually helps the F-Bombs in a little bit because there's a cluster, and you'll see it in the standings in the A division. So it may help them seeding-wise, I think. You know, so they're not all the way down toward the bottom where they may have to play Laney's or somebody like that in the first or second round. Of course, we do have some buys, it looks like, at least for the first place team, which is going to be the Blaze, as they locked up the division title on Sunday with the Laney loss.
Yep. Two games ahead, one game to play. Oh, I'm sorry. In the A division, there's still 2 games left.
One
correct?
game.
Oh, there is one. Okay, I didn't know if we were off balance schedule, but 1 game left to play, and they got a 2-game lead. So congratulations to the Blaze on the division. They are 7-0, followed by Laney's at 5-2, and then we've got Valenti's Panthers and GotBeer.com, both 4-3, followed by Kohler's Lions and Derricom F-Bombs at 3-4, and then we've got Ralph's Tavern at 2-5, and the Bootleggers Crush at 0-7, rounding out the A division.
An interesting fact here before we move on, Colin, is Laney's and the Blaze will play each other again, and that's a game we'll talk about later in the roundtable with our insider, who is also round.
Yeah, and he does need a haircut and a shave.
Right. Unless he lived in Afghanistan.
That's true, but I like your comment that you had off air, that he got his hair permed. So
yes,
He keeps denying who he is, yet he keeps doing things that suggest otherwise. I don't know many guys who get their hair permed and still come out,
Well, the perm is from the 80s. We know that. And it is possible because of the humidity and rain today. Maybe that extra permanentated it.
That could be true.
It's
a Frankism.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I didn't know I had those.
Well, sometimes I don't know what colonisms come out until they're out there, and then you just make it work.
All right.
So take us into our B division.
All right. So B division, folks, and here are the scores. This was a good game and an interesting game. You had the Heroes defeating the Renegades, undefeated at the time, 14-12. I'd like the insider to get a little info on that game if he could and bring that to us during the roundtable segment.
I can see him from here. He's working the phones now.
He is working the phones. We appreciate that. He is really good with the inside information. But that was a key game as far as seedings, because I believe, although Sampson's lost, there is still an outside chance that they could pull off the division, I believe, with their winning next Sunday and maybe the Renegades losing. So Sampson's does win 21-0 over the Rampage. Park Pub defeat Pure Image Creation 25-13. No surprise there. 41 Sports Bar Titans 28. Bootlegger Chief 7. Kind of surprised with Mike Parrott. It looked like earlier in the season his team was turning the corner, but they went back to their old ways for now, and that's going to be devastating as far as the playoffs, and we'll see that during the standings. Red Front crushing the Predators. Predators came off that huge win over the Tigers, but then lose 34-12 to Red Front. The Rugged Rams 18-12 over the Warriors, and Labatt Blue 30-6 over All-in-One, and All-in-One's Cinderella story to start the season is over. Any comments, Colin, on those scores? I'm sorry, we have one more, and then I'll let you comment. It is the Tigers 23, Aztecs 20. That was the game of the week, folks, and that was a big game. Hopefully the insider will get some information on that as well.
Well, you said it best. The Aztecs, the All-in-One team, their Cinderella season absolutely came crashing down. But all in all, I still think they would look at this season as a successful one. Also, you can't acknowledge the Predators coming off of that big win the previous week against the Lark Tavern team. And I'm sorry, they're always the Lark Tavern team. NEKF Tavern team, or the NEKF Tigers, I'm sorry. And then they come back and they just absolutely lay an egg. So it goes to show from week to week the emotional game that football is, because you get up, you're shorthanded, you beat one of the top teams in the B division. You would think that momentum, you build on that momentum, but it just goes to show that you had to bring so much energy and so much effort to play that game against the previous week that it's just you go from high to low, and keeping that emotion in check is kind of difficult from a week to week basis. So I think they just emotionally the previous week had drained them. It's tough to say it the way I'm going to say it, but they got brought back to reality in a big way.
They did, and you'll see that in the standings. But, at the end of the day, probably if you're, Parcells, I think, said this best, you are what your record is.
That's it.
So that's the game. That's the way it plays out. Let's go to the standings anyway, and now we have them all put together. This is Albany and Schenectady for the top 8, of course, is going to make the playoffs, so there's one game to go, and there is a lot of uncertainty in those 8, 9, and 10 spots and so on and so forth for the final playoff berths. Renegades, they do lose, so they're going to drop down into a first-place tie with Labatt Blue and Sampson's. Of course, the tiebreakers will come out at the end of the season, and you'll get a chance to see who is going to be the number 1 seed. Now, as far as I know, the way Glenn has placed this, that the standings are correct. I'm going to see if I can get a quick okay from the insider on that. We're not 100% sure.
He's still working the phone.
We're still working on it. Okay, but at the end of the season, of course, we'll have that mapped out. But right now, they do have Renegades, Labatt Blue, and Sampson's in that order 1 through 3. Then you have the Tigers. They're sitting by themselves. They come back and win. They're 5-2. So holding that 4th spot is really a good slot for them, because who really cares at this point as far as the top 3 goes? They're all basically the same in my mind. Then the Heroes, Red Front, 41 Sports Bar, Aztecs, Park Pub, Rampage, all 4-3. How about that, Colin? 4 through 10 same record.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm glad, again, I've said this every year around this time. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with all of those tiebreaker scenarios.
It's amazing. So keep in mind that of 10 teams, only 8 can make the playoffs, so 2 of them are going to be on the outside looking in. And then all-in-one tickets, yes, they're 3 and 4. I don't know right now what the tiebreaker situation is, Colin, but they do have a shot.
Yeah, ever so small, but as long as you have a shot, you still got to come in ready to play, because all of those teams, you're one game behind them. Not knowing who's playing who or how the tiebreaker is going to work out for you, you may be able to sneak it in, and who knows? All it takes is a chance. Once you're in the playoffs, you just come and play your game and see what happens.
Well, you're being too kind.
I am. I try. Because it's the papa in me now.
Your papa. Anyway, the all-in-one tickets, I think it's a good thing that they have seeds 5 through 10 right now, all at 4 and 3, because if it was just 1 or 2 teams, I think it would be worse for them mathematically. So if they can get a whole bunch of teams involved, then a lot of that head-to-head could be thrown out. Maybe points come into play. However, points is not on their side as they are a minus 76. So maybe I misspoke, and head-to-head is going to be their only shot.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on that limb and say that's their only shot.
The other problem with all-in-one is the fact that they beat up on the teams probably below them, not above them.
That would be my guess, but you just never know. You'd have to go through that whole tiebreaker scenario, but I'd be willing to bet you're probably right.
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing you said, who really cares when you're in that top 3 seeds? How badly does the Tigers feel about letting that game against the Predators slip by them? They could be in that 6-1 range, and you never know, but there's always a sense of pride. You want to go in and get that number 1 seed. Not that it does anything for you against your opponent, but internally it makes you feel like, all right, we've got the number 1 seed. Mentally, you go in thinking that you're the favorite to win it all. Whether that's true or not, your team goes in thinking that they're the favorite. So I think there's more to it than, all right, we're in the playoffs, doesn't really matter for 1, 2, or 3.
Well, I think you're right from a pride standpoint. Yes, I agree with you. From the Tigers standpoint, this old vet team, you know, getting into the playoffs is the key, all right? They're going to be in the playoffs, let's face it. They're going to have to play tough teams down the road. So I think they're going to be okay. The wake-up call may help them, and maybe they'll do some damage once the playoff comes. But in the B and C division, and we can talk about this on the roundtable segment, I think it's so wide open right now. There are several teams that can win, and it's going to come down to matchups, Colin.
Agreed, especially in the C division.
Yes. All right, so the next set of standings here is the 12, 13, and 14 seeds at this point. Bootleggers, Predators, and Rugged Rams, all 2 and 5, followed by Pure Image Creation and the Warriors at 0 and 7. The one thing I do want to thank the B teams thus far for is that there has been no forfeit. So let's get through one more week, guys, even if you're not the best teams, so everybody can get their full 8 games in before the playoffs. Colin? C Division action.
Well, here we go. Starting right at the top, we've got the Avengers 41-12 over Bloodline, Fuller's Tavern 24-zip over the Vipers, Side Door Grill Bombers 24-zip over First Response, and in our game of the day, Samson's Fighting Irish 46, Giuseppe Warriors 43. Samson's pretty much wraps up the Albany C Division, and this game was an absolute positive,
big time, I gotta wait for the camera, barn burner.
Absolutely. And we'll have more on that game when we get to the round table. The insider shared some stuff off camera that he's just got to present on air.
Absolutely.
As he described this game, I was just listening to him. I was riveted with every word he was saying in his description of this game.
I was riveted with his hair.
Well, I tried not to because, you know, that's a distraction.
It is.
So we may, you know what? If he's still here next season, when it comes to that Halloween show, we can strap him to the chair and just cut it.
Yes, let's do that.
Because, you know, we have an image to uphold.
Plus, we'll be doing a service. We'll send it to the Cancer Society.
Locks of Love.
Locks of Love.
There you go.
So they would like that.
Yeah, but not his facial hair, though.
No, that looks like something in somebody's pants.
Yeah. So continuing on to the scoreboard, we've got Vinny's Barbershop 35 over Team Hoke 0. Armadillos 36-8 over Top Form Pelicans.
Get some.
Philly Bar and Grill 49-26 over the Austin's Hurricanes. Elbow Room Hawks 27-8 over the Outlaws.
Did he?
Fierce Dirty Birds 19-14 over the Golden Retrievers. Maggie's Falcons 21-7 over Brownell Law Kryptonites. Rotterdam Raiders, we talked about this team last week, 24-5 victory over Pro Fire KOB. Looks like maybe Diddy got his ship righted just in time for the playoff push. Bombers Thrashers 27-20 over the Dream Team. LaBella's Pizza 35-0 over Downfall. Black and White Niners 28-6 all over the Softex Soldiers. Didn't see that one coming as much of a beatdown as that was. You were in Troy, so you'll have some insight for that game.
Sure.
Joe's Tavern Lamarche Law 25-20 over Quick Response. I'm surprised that game was that close. Usually Quick Response, they're one of the hard luck teams, and usually at the end of the season they tend to tail off. And with Joe's Tavern playing for their playoff seedings, I thought they would put them away earlier.
Yeah.
And Money Team Savages 44-12 over Bootleggers Bulldogs. That wraps up the C Division scoreboard. Now let's move into our C Division standings, where we'll start over in Albany, where we have Samson's Fighting Irish at 7-0, followed by the Avengers, Giuseppe Warriors, and Vinny's Barbershop all at 6-1. Side Door Grill Bombers and Philly Bar and Grill and the Armadillos all at 5-2. Fuller's Tavern, Elbow Room Hawks both 4-3. And then we have the Outlaws, Team Hope both 2-5. Top Form Pelicans, First Response, Austin Hurricanes, Bloodline all 1-6. And then the Vipers at 0-7. In Schenectady, we've got Team SOS at 7-0. Followed by the Dream Team. SOS, by the way, has clinched the division. Two-game lead with 1 game to play. Followed by the Dream Team and Maggie's Falcons, both at 5-2. Rotterdam Raiders at 4-2 with the game to be made up due to the lightning. Pro Fire KOB and Bombers Thrashers, both 4-3. Followed by Fierce Dirty Birds, Brownell Law Kryptonites at 1-6. And then the Golden Retrievers at 0-7. In Troy, we've got Black and White Niners at 6-1. Followed by Money Team Savages, LaBella's Pizza, both 5-2. Then we've got Softex Soldiers and Joe's Tavern, Lamarche Law, both 4-3. Bootleggers Bulldogs and Quick Response 2-5. And Downfall at 0-7 round out the Troy C Division.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
You must be tired.
I am. As soon as they take the camera off me, I'm going to take a drink.
Yeah, we're not. Anyway, there is something that was kind of interesting and funny, a quote of the week, I should say. It's not in the newsletter, but should be on the show. The Bulldogs lost, I believe you said 44-12 to Money Team Savages, and I told the guys that they fought hard and had a good game, and they replied that the referees raped them. 44-12 raping. So there you have it, folks. It was interesting. But, they decided that they never lose that badly, so there must be a reason. But I will say this.
Yeah, you got hammered.
Money Team is the real deal. I'll talk about it more on the round table, but I got a chance to see all of those teams now, and I know why the Money Team beat the Big Three. And the Big Three are now below Money Team. Money is on top.
So let me ask you this question, because I'm not going to let that go that easily. Money Team beats the Big Three, and then they beat the bejesus out of the Bulldogs.
Right.
And the Bulldogs' claim to fame is that the officials raped them.
Yes.
Okay, you're 2-4 before the beatdown.
Right.
You only scored 12 points in the beatdown.
Right.
You gave up 44 in the beatdown.
Say it.
I'm going to tell you something. I used to play. I used to coach. I used to referee. A bad call here or there is going to happen. Mm-hmm. A bad call is not going to make you lose 44-12. Stop trying to blame other people. You just got beat. Accept it and move on. 44-12 does not one bad call make. And if it does, your team's not that good anyway because you let one call turn you into a blowout. Bunch of crying, bunch of beefing, and you got hammered. One call, I'm pretty sure there were some close calls that went for you as well, but nobody wants to acknowledge that. We got screwed on that one call. Okay, you still had the rest of the game to play, and you got hammered 44-12. Right.
Well, I want to thank Reverend Colin Martin for that soapbox But I understand the way you feel. I feel the same way. It's just that I tend to let it brush off my shoulders at this point in my career.
You couldn't say that because you are still an official. I'm no longer active, so I can say it. That's the biggest bunch of crap. You got your ass kicked, 44-12. It's not one call. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Take us into the co-ed.
Let's go into co-ed, but that was interesting. All right, so listen, folks, we've got co-ed scores, and as always, I'll give you the score, and Colin can give you the MVP. Week 7, Dark Side 43, Bootleggers 20. They booted it.
Yeah, I don't even know where you're looking at. Okay, there we go. MVP, Brendan Allardyce. I'm looking over there.
Oh, no, that's all right. I was trying to say it wraps around. Sorry.
Okay.
Silver Bullets 45, Brad Lewis Lawn Care 25. They got clipped.
MVP and soon-to-be future Hall of Famer, Dwight, not this year, Cooper.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Uh-oh. Controversy.
Soon to be, but not this year.
Controversy.
No.
Mark Dool is saying that he should go in immediately this season. He told me that this past Saturday.
Well, he thinks that, I'm sure.
I'm not,
I agree that he should go in.
Right.
Not this year.
The question is who will, and we're going to have to keep that under wraps for now.
That's true. I know who I'm voting
No,
for.
that's fine, yeah. All right, Riff Raff 48, Dirty Birds 27.
They need to play like they have some class, a bunch of riffraffs. MVP of that game, Amanda Brundage.
Yes, she did work. And I'm also hearing that Amanda Brundage now is quite possibly at the level, well, let me put this out to you. Amanda Brundage, a person came up to me and said, is a better center than Jen Kay because she has the ability to also go out for passes. That was the caveat. Agree or disagree, Mr. Martin?
I disagree.
Okay.
She's not a better center. She's more versatile.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it's the catching aspect that she's able to catch and run. But she's not better. She's more versatile.
All right. Well, there you have it, and that seems like a fair statement. Samson's Misfits winning without their star Al-Qaeda coach 40-21 over Mark Taggart.
I wonder what happens. The coach isn't there. The crybaby quarterback isn't there. And the MVP of that game is Brittany Party all the time.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not spelled that way, but I like the way you put it.
That's okay. That's what we do.
I like that.
We ad-lib on here. We just, right off the top of the head, baby. That's how we roll.
Why is that guy staring at us?
It's a little nervous, isn't it?
I feel slightly disturbed by that because it's not just that he's looking and helping, he's staring. And I'm nervous.
And the problem is, we've alienated the other guy, the insider. He won't help us at all.
The insider disappears even from the framework of the whole studio.
Yeah.
And now Jay is not even looking at us at all. No, Jay, we didn't mean that.
Jay, remember, I'm your friend.
Yeah, when the bullets fly, he's your friend. Del Lane's 39, Buffo-matic Transmissions 13.
MVP, Mike Horny.
Oh
No, that's not how you pronounce it. Mike Chorniak. Chorniak.
Yes.
Chorniak. Mike Chorniak. Horny, as I like to call him.
He's from Bosnia.
Yeah, he's a little thick, though. He's a little buffed. He might roid rage it.
Oh, yeah, he did, yeah. Well,
nobody 5'3" should be that jacked.
I know, he is jacked.
I'm just saying.
He yelled at me because I took my shirt off and he said, at least go to the gym. I was like, I think I'd rather be my height and be a little heavy than go 5'3", buck 85.
Looking like a little 12-year-old on roids.
Oh, my God.
I said it, Horny. Come on.
I hope he doesn't watch the show.
He doesn't. That's why I'm talking all that crap.
Because he'll beat you up like he's a munchkin. Colors 31, Cute and Fuzzy Bunnies 28. Great game. Game of the day.
That was the game of the day. MVP of that game was Jen, not the enforcer. Free Tag from Kohlers.
Oh, Free Tag. Is
Free
that how
Tag.
you pronounce it, too?
I hope so.
I'm hoping. Free Tag. And then McGeary's, and I'm going to let you say it.
Hobags. And again, that's a self-given name. I'm not insulting them.
No, not
They
at
refer
all.
to themselves that way.
Right. Even the men, I guess.
Yeah. Some of them, who are we to judge?
25-18 over Andy's Maniacs. And also, let's give a shout out because we have some people in our league that are the persuasion, how do I say this? The sexual persuasion of the same sex. So there was the Albany Gay Pride Parade this past Saturday at Lark Tavern. So let's give a shout out to the men and women of our league that attended.
We'll do that in the roundtable. As you know, we've got the first openly gay male player in our league. So we are all encompassing, we're all inclusive. MVP of that game, Craig Helms. Not sure which side he's on, but congratulations. Before we leave co-ed, though, we do have to give a shout out to Veronica Chavon.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but she was in a bad collision on the field. Turns out that she did have a concussion, and she had some blurred vision and a constant headache. So we were able to talk her into going to the ER, and they found out they diagnosed her with a concussion. So she's down for the next couple of weeks. So get well soon, Veronica. All of us here wish you the best.
She's not the one that was going after the other men that have girlfriends, was she?
No. She's not the town drunk, as somebody, I got a call and was like, yo, that girl's, when I was at the field, they said that girl is the town drunk. And then I got a call from the bar that said the town drunk almost got beat down. But no, it's not her. Veronica's the good girl. She used to play with the bunnies. She used to bake cookies all the time.
She's a very good flag grabber and turned out to be an excellent defensive player in our league. So congratulations to her recovery, hopefully. But the inside information, which I won't go into, is the key. And the moral to the story is, folks, don't get drunk, if you're a female especially, and start hitting on the other girl's boyfriends.
Or husbands. Yeah, you may find yourself knocked out.
These are not the women at the co-ed field that you would find at some accounting firm sitting behind a desk. These are athletic women that will beat you senseless.
Yeah.
Good.
Don't take what's mine. Don't touch what's mine.
All right. So let's get into the standings now. And I moved my chair. I can't do that. Sorry, AJ. It's trying to get too close to Colin. I know how you feel about that. So the top part of these standings: Riff Raff, Silver Bullets, Dark Side, all 6-1. Congratulations to Dark Side on an unbelievable season thus far. Hopefully they can get one more and finish 7-1, which would be their best regular season ever. We have Dell Lane's Kohlers at 5-2, Cute and Fuzzy, and Cute and Fuzzy, is 4-3, and then Brad Lewis Lawn Care is 3-4.
Followed by the Dirty Birds, McGarry's Hobags, and Lark Tavern Renegades, all 3-4. Samson's Misfits gets a big W this weekend without their quarterback and coach. Andy's Maniacs, both 2-5. Buffomatic Transmission, 1-6. And Bootleggers rounds out the co-ed division at 0-7.
All right, there you have it, folks. Listen, co-ed, they're going into their last week. Men's going into their last week. This is a big week, seeding-wise. Some teams are actually in the playoffs right now. What do I mean by that, Colin?
We've got the A division playoffs, and we've got the B division playoffs, and then the A division, we've got the top 8, and then in the B division playoffs, we got 6 additional.
All right, that's not what I meant. What I meant what I meant is that some teams win, they're in, lose, they're out in this regular season final.
Oh, so that's the play-in games.
Playoff. Yes, gotcha. A play-in game. I'm sorry, not official playoffs, but a play-in game. So those teams, good luck, congratulations. Make sure you don't get drunk on Saturday night, Friday night in the co-ed, and we will see everybody in the next segment for the Roundtable.